What's good, people, and welcome on another episode. How are you guys doing today? I hope you all are doing great. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you so much for being here today. This social worker took to TikTok to talk about homeless men and a relationship. He said he's going to hurt some men with what he has to say, but he has to say what he has to say because the women have to listen to this and take precaution. He talked from his experience with people who have been in similar situation and the attachment of homeless men with relationships. So without wasting much time, let's just go right into what this man has to say.
So let's look at this issue. Men are going to be unhappy with me about this, but it's got to be said anyway. Ladies, you will too, but it's going to hit the men harder. Check this out. So obviously, as a social worker, we deal with cases where there's risk and sexual abuse. And this is one of the issues and patterns that I've seen, okay? And I'm only saying this to be aware. All of you need to be aware of the dynamics of what is seen behind the curtain of it all. Check this out. This is the pattern that I often see. Now, it's easier for a woman who gets pregnant or has a child because to be housed, because the local authority has a duty of care to the child and they have to keep the family together as far as possible, right? So women would generally have somewhere to live, but men who also meet that impossible financial challenge, sometimes they are homeless. And what happens is that sometimes men will look for someone who wants to be with someone and find themselves in a relationship so that they're not homeless. Do you get that? This happens all the time. So if we were to step into a home where a man has history of sexual abuse or DV, some domestic violence, something like that, and then we were to say to them, look, he's going to have to leave. Sometimes what you often hear is, well, where is he supposed to go? Because he's homeless. Where can I go? I've got no family. I've got no friends. Well, that is a dilemma indeed. Because sometimes the woman feels that she is responsible to make sure that her man's all right and taken care of. Remember, she's caught feelings because they're living a married life, although they're not married, and they're in it deep. So how do you separate that? How do you separate yourself from the home? And what happens is the woman will typically kind of amend or bend her morals to suit what I'm trying to say. So sometimes the woman will bend her morals around his past offences so that it will suit the situation that they're in. Basically, she doesn't want to split up with him, but also feels guilty to put him out. That's a dilemma because remember, he is a risk to the child. He hasn't been assessed. And this is the situation that women are finding themselves in, is that they're finding themselves with men that will say that they're in love with them and they're living as a married couple. But behind it is also, and whether it's right or wrong is another issue, but behind it also is that he just doesn't want to be homeless. Now, the dilemma gets a bit deeper because if you're in a committed relationship that is, you're in love, okay, how do you split up in the first place? But number two, how do you truly end that? How do you truly say, how does a social worker walk away from that home believing that that man won't come back? Now, I'm speaking specifically about men with histories. And one of the problems is that because parents or us, typically mothers, don't always do the due diligence, they take someone in with history upon history or just something really worrying. They won't do the due diligence. When we walk away from that home after having discussions, can we trust that he won't just walk back in the door? Do you know what I mean? How many homes have I been to where a partner is hiding, a mum is hiding a boyfriend, or he won't attend any meetings whatsoever? What are we supposed to do? And so, yeah, we will be, there's a lot of aggression towards social workers and disdain towards us because we're actually saying, well, look, this isn't right. Whereas the parent is actually saying, no, it's all right. I trust him. I know him. He's fine. He's always been good to me. Always the same narrative, constantly the same. And that's a pattern I'm seeing. What I'm saying to you, parents and mothers in particular, is that I remember being told, do a Clare's Law, do a Sarah's Law disclosure. And I thought that was strange. Now I get it. You can't just take someone in. And especially if you know they have history, you can't just act as if it doesn't exist. And you can't bend your morals just to suit the situation because you want to be in love and live like a family. You can't do that. That's unfortunate. I I get why you would, but we have to manage that situation. It's better to be honest. You know, if we find that you're ducking and diving, it makes everyone worry a lot about your decision making. Be honest about how you've processed this. Be honest about everything on the table, and help us work out a safety plan with you. But if you're ducking and diving, we're going to make decisions for you, and that is the worst part of this job. So just be careful about how you do this, please. You know, if you're alone and you want to be in a relationship, just do the work. Because here's a saying. It's coming: short-term pain, long-term gain. Do you get that? So do the work initially, have those difficult conversations, and be honest about your decision making at the very earliest point before you bring a man home. Because the long-term gain is that at least you're aware. Now, if you take that short-term pain and say, look, I got involved with someone and they've got a questionable history and I've got a child, then my advice is to just get out of that relationship. For men who are out there mistreating women or mistreating children, the price is that you don't get to just move on and carry on as if it hasn't happened. Unfortunately, your history follows you forever. So there's my off the cuff overview of the situation. Mums, please do the work. Men out there who are homeless, it's tough. I don't know what to say. It's a mad world we're living in. But don't get with a woman just because you don't want to be homeless. Women, there's so many vulnerable women out there who just fall for this. Don't get with men who are homeless. Okay? And don't move your man in just because it's going well. There's a lot to consider. And if you want to know more, ask.
What do you guys think about what this man said? I would like to hear your thoughts in the comment section. About a few weeks ago, we talked about the woman that they took her kids away from her because her husband was, or let's say the new boyfriend, because the new guy is not the father of the kids. He's always recording the child, posting the child, and literally just humiliating that child online to the point where during Christmas they gifted this child a slimming tea, and everybody's like, who the hell actually gives a child a slimming tea, 8-year-old child a slimming tea? That video went viral and they took away the kids, and they told her that it's either the man leaves the house or she's not getting her kids. And it was so funny because she wanted the man to stay. She wasn't picking her kids first. And this man is basically talking about how you have to pick yourself and your kids first just in case. And I don't know if you guys have heard of the research sister story that is currently going viral on TikTok. There's a part of it as well that I see a lot of comments that people are saying that the very first mistake you made was the fact that you allowed this man stayed with you. There are some comments as well. I would like to hear what you guys think. If you have listened to the 50-part story of research sister, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the current viral lady of who the heck did I marry, I am going to be sharing some reaction from that tomorrow. So make sure you stick around on the channel and make sure you subscribe. This comment said, "Is speaking from fact. I have been told by loads of men they want women with kids because it guarantees a place to stay and a food on the table." So a lot of time, 9 times out of 10, it's all because they want to be housed and they want to be taken care of, but they will disguise as like they love you, and the love bombing is going to be on the crazy side. Another person said, as a social worker, I am shocked by the number of women who move men into the house without knowing anything about them and put the life of their kids in danger, because this is always the case. Even their own life will be in danger. And there was a part where that man said, even if they are coming to the rescue and even if they are telling the woman that this is not right, you will see the woman still defending the man and saying, oh, he treats me right. Oh, he's not a bad person, blah, blah, blah. Another person said, not only homeless men, but also men that don't like their current living arrangements. So they use single mothers to hang out in their home. Crazy. There are a lot of people sharing their story in the comment section of this man's video. And I feel like it's very, very important because it seems like a very common thing, but it's not right because the end of it is not always good. Another person said, women let men move in with them way, way too fast. It's usually the kids that end up suffering. It is not right. The last one I have here says, I immediately split with my husband of 14 years when I was informed by excess of his behavior. Children comes first no matter how painful it is at the time. The children come first, and your life as a woman as well comes first because it's very, very important. Let me hear what you guys think about what this man said in the comment section. And what is your take on women who just move men in like few days or few weeks after meeting them without doing their due diligence to find out who that person is. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation there. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, and I love you guys.